You are listening to the Fringe Radio Network. FringeRadioNetwork.com.
You're listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
Welcome, everybody, to Earth Oddity Podcast, the best podcast that you have never heard of until now, if you're joining us for the first time.
That's right.
And, for all the rest of you, welcome back as always. And we are so glad that you're joining us, whether you are twerking on the top of a moving vehicle or protesting a devil statue in a Spanish city because he's too jolly. We thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah, we're glad to have you here. For all our regular listeners, glad to have you back. Make sure to tell one friend about our podcast this week.
Just one friend.
Yeah. They don't even have to be a friend. Tell a random stranger,
yeah.
In the grocery store. Just tell one person. We're going to grow our listenership. Is that the right word?
That's the right word.
Yeah. This year, and you're going to have to help us because we're broke and we can't pay to do any real advertising. So we're going to have to all be word of mouth. So get somebody else in the fold into the Earth Oddity lifestyle. So
one thing that I did was I wrote on the top of a receipt.
Oh, yeah?
After a meal one Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
I wrote, listen to Earth Oddity Podcast, best podcast you've never heard of.
That's right.
Turns out, because I tipped the guy pretty good, he went and listened to the podcast. Turns out he enjoys it, and he's since joined our Facebook group.
All right.
So, yeah.
Nice brag about having a lot of money to tip well. I appreciate that. Like you stuck that in there. That's good.
Well, I learned that from you.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I would say.
I used to never tip.
I'm a good tipper.
Until I made friends with John Long.
I tip people, yes. I tried that at the Mexican restaurant in Reform, Alabama, and I don't think they knew what I wrote. But anyways, I did put it on there. Listen to Earth Oddity. So
to our Spanish-speaking audience, let us know how to write that in Spanish.
And to speak Spanish. That might be a good thing we need to learn, too.
Oh, you got any good stories this week?
I got some pretty great stories. We got Chris Hansen, everybody's favorite, child molester arrester. Chris Hansen.
That just rolls off the tongue.
That's right. He's gotten in a little trouble with the law. Got an emotional support alligator, too. So people are getting out of hand with that.
I know.
But why don't we lead off? If you'll remember a few episodes ago, I was offering my kidney up for sale.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of our listeners do as well. No one approached me with an offer, though. So,
well, Craigslist took my ad down.
I know. Yeah, you did put an ad up.
Who knew Craigslist was so? What's the word I'm looking for?
Reputable.
So reputable.
Yeah, yeah. They have a conscience. Now you can buy a stolen bass boat from a crackhead off of Craigslist any day,
but no body parts.
But no body parts. Yeah, that's against the rules.
I went to post it up on Backpage, but then you were like, it's not there anymore.
Don't ask me how I know that.
And I was like, well, dadgummit, how am I going to get my drugs? That was a joke, people.
Yeah, definitely a joke. So anyways, here's one teen who did. A broke teen who sold his kidney for an iPhone is now bedridden for life.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Now, talk about really wanting a phone.
Oh, man.
This comes from FoxNews.com, so it's reputable. Trump endorsed.
It's fair and balanced.
Fair and balanced, right?
Yes.
A Chinese man is now bedridden for life after he sold his kidney as a teenager to the black market to buy the latest Apple product.
Oh, man.
Wang Shangkun was 17 years old when
That sounds like a Mortal Kombat character.
Wang Shangkun was 17 years old when he made the fateful decision. Shortly after the illegal surgery, he began suffering from a decreased level of kidney function.
Because he's only got one now.
Yeah. 8 years on, 8 years later, the 25-year-old is now bedridden for life after his remaining organ failed. Now that's a problem,
man.
I didn't even think about that. Like if I sell my one kidney and then the other one decides to knock off because it's been fed a steady diet of like soft drinks for the past 40 years,
You just
I'm in
can't
some
go
real
get a new
trouble.
one?
Yeah, I wonder if I get like a buyback clause in there. I'll buy back it at 50% of its current market value.
Tell you what, if I'm the guy who had that kidney, I'd be like $1 million.
I'm like, dude, but I sold it to you, man, for much cheaper. So Mr. Shangun had sold his kidney to the black market to organ harvesters in 2011, where he received $4,500, purchasing an iPhone 4 and an iPad 2 with these funds.
Oh, man.
Man, I was thinking
I was
to get
about
the
to
new
say,
10 or something, but
iPhones are only good for a couple years anyway.
right.
That's a terrible deal.
why do I need a second kidney? One is enough, he said in reports at the time.
Now he knows.
Yes. Mr. Wang, which... how great would it to be just be called Mr. Wang every day for the rest of your life? Mr. Wang now spends his days in bed and relies on dialysis to survive his kidney failure. The illegal surgery had caused him to develop renal deficiency, which is believed to have led to an infection due to the unsanitary setting of where it took place.
Man.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one. At the time, a Chinese newspaper reported that Wang first made contact with the alleged harvesters through internet chat rooms. It's got to be difficult in China. They keep a lockdown on the internet. You know? He Wei, reportedly the leader of the gang. He Wei, that's his name. I think if I just breeze through that, he's reportedly the leader of the gang, then made arrangements to hire a surgeon who worked at a nearby military hospital. Wang said, at the time, I wanted to buy an iPad 2, but I didn't have any money. When I was on the internet, I had a kidney agent send a message saying that selling a kidney could give me $20,000.
And we just breezed right through that there's kidney agents in China.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Give me a kidney agent.
Wang received the equivalent of about $3,500 for his kidney at the time. And the rest of the money was divided up among the gang. So that's quite some fees and surcharges you
that
have
money
to pay.
went to the agent.
Yeah.
The
Better read
kidney
that
agent.
contract really well. So 9 people were arrested in conjunction with the case, and 5, including the surgeon who harvested his kidney, were jailed in 2012. His family was eventually awarded about $300,000 in compensation later the same year. So Mr. Wang allegedly sought the new iPhone in order to show off to his friends. Yeah, that's tough. His family lived in one of China's poorest provinces and couldn't afford it, so he turned to other means to raise the money, which that's horrible that you feel like you have to do that. But, I mean, dude, you're bedridden for life now for an iPhone 4.
I know.
It's tough.
That's got to be like a boring Instagram account if he's just laying in bed every day, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like here's another picture of my feet.
Here's a picture of the ceiling. Golly. People out there, you know, you probably shouldn't. I mean, well, here in America, it's illegal. You can't sell your kidney.
Yeah, don't sell your kidney.
But, you know.
I mean, unless the price is right.
If you're going to sell your kidney, you need to get paid. You need to get on the iPhone for life deal because this dude is now bedridden. And I wonder if he still has that iPhone 4.
He better.
Which, I mean, it stinks by today's standards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But my thing is, they said he was awarded $300,000. You know,
I wonder what that was
later on.
for.
Well, can he not just go buy another black market kidney and get that bad boy put in?
That's a good point.
I mean, they were going for $20,000, so you can buy 2 good ones and still have a good $200,000 left over.
Maybe if you can get a reputable kidney agent and cut out the middleman, maybe you can get another one for $4,500.
What if they're
adjusted for inflation?
Kidney commercials over there, like they're used car commercials over here.
Yeah,
you know, like come on down and see us at the Kidney Mart. You know, we'll get you set up.
Kmart.
Yeah, Kmart. Yes. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. I'm sorry he had to go through that.
I am too.
And he's bedridden.
You know, Godspeed to the engineers and the doctors out there who are working on artificial organs. I mean,
yeah,
you guys, we applaud you. Your work does not go unnoticed, and it can't be done quick enough. I mean, the sooner we can get this guy a robot kidney, the better.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's get him a robot kidney immediately. He ought to be on the top of the list for it, at least, you know, close to the top. I mean, I wonder That's got to be a whole weird process. I almost got into it. If somebody would have called that week, I probably would have sold my kidney. But getting like a backroom surgery done, that's rough.
That is creepy.
Yeah.
You hear the stories about going down to Tijuana and being out partying. Somebody slips you a little something when you drink, and then you wake up in a bathtub of ice.
Right. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know.
Like Charlie the Unicorn.
I don't know. You just be careful if you're down in Tijuana.
Yeah.
Everybody. Let's just
keep your wits about you.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not, have some friends who are going to, keep tabs on you.
Once Trump gets a wall built, though, all those problems will be solved.
Well,
till Mexico builds stairs on their side, so we're okay.
Well, the next story is headline: Spanish City protest against too friendly devil sculpture.
Okay, too friendly.
It's too friendly.
Oh, like a buddy,
they're cool.
Buddy devil.
They're cool with the devil sculpture, but he's got to look mean and
needs
menacing.
to be menacing.
He can't be jolly.
Yeah, sure.
A planned sculpture of Satan in the Spanish city of Segovia has been criticized for being too jolly.
Okay.
The bronze statue was created as a tribute to a local legend, which says that the devil was tricked into building the city's famous aqueduct.
Oh.
But residents say that the devil, who is smiling and taking a selfie with a smartphone, looks too friendly. The artist told BBC News he was surprised by the level of criticism directed at his artwork.
Yeah.
A judge has now ordered that the artwork be put on hold while he looks into whether it is offensive to Christians.
Offensive. The friendly devil's offensive.
The friendly devil's offensive, yeah.
Okay.
More than 5,400 people, just over 10% of the city's population, have signed a petition calling for the sculpture to be canceled. And he looks kind of like... You ever? Well, I know for a fact you've seen the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I have.
He looks like one of those little gargoyle guys that was hanging around him,
Yeah.
The petition says that because the devil is shown in a jovial way with a phone in his hand, that it exalts evil and is therefore offensive to Catholics. It adds that Satan is supposed to be repulsive and despicable, not kind and seductive like that kind of good-natured devil without malice that has been proposed. But the row has taken the artist Jose Antonio Abuela by surprise. It seems to me incredible that people would be so fiercely against the sculpture of a devil to commemorate a popular legend taught to Segovian kids at school. Mr. Abuela, a former doctor who has taken up art in his retirement, told BBC News, "I love Segovia. I have lived here for 3 decades, and I was hoping for this sculpture to be a form of demonstration of how thankful I am to Segovia for being my adopted town. I haven't received any money whatsoever for this sculpture," which, I mean, they're not going to pay for it. They don't like it.
Right, yeah. I mean, go ahead and write that one off, bud. Put that one out in the garden.
"I haven't done this for money, but as personal tribute to the city I call mine. You imagine how I feel. City Councilor
like he's all in his feelings about it. Like nobody likes my devil sculpture.
Nobody likes my devil statue. City Councilor Claudia De Santos has also called the campaign unfair and disheartening. She told El Paris newspaper that she would try to ensure the sculpture goes ahead as planned. So,
well, I don't want to get too deep into this, but the devil, he was like one of the fairest angels of all, right? Before he I
know it says in the Bible that he does come at you as a masquerading as an angel of light.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't just totally repulsive and scary.
Right.
Now, I know his actions, to those of us who believe, we would say that's repulsive. Maybe you want to reflect that in art, but if we're just going for a true depiction, the devil's probably a pretty sly looking, good looking dude.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
It says in this article that the legend has it that he was tricked into building the city's aqueduct. You know how he was tricked?
How?
He lost a fiddle competition.
That's wild.
He needs to just give it up, dude.
I stumbled into a conversation the other night on Facebook about the devil went down to Georgia.
Okay.
All right. And I got into it by making a joke. But these people had these whole extrapolated theories about this song that I had never even considered before. number one, they were like, well, the devil's actually a stand-up guy. Like, he took his beating. He just went on and about his life. He gave Johnny his fiddle and he left and, went on to live and do all this, like, whatever.
Didn't try and cheat him.
Didn't try to cheat him. Didn't try to deceive him or anything. He laid out the terms. You knew what it took to win and you knew what it took to lose. There were no other judges there but them. So they both were on like the honor system to judge the other to see who was better.
That's a good point because it's kind of.
And conceivably, if the devil is outside of what we would consider our normal time-space continuum, he already knew the result of the competition before he went into it to begin with. And it was like, it blew my mind. I was like,
right.
Dude, I haven't even smoked a joint, but I feel like I have now that I've read this. So you guys have put way more thought into Charlie Daniels than I have. So it was very fascinating.
I think it was the devil's pride that led him to get into that competition.
Do you know there is the Devil Went Back Down to Georgia Part 2?
I have listened to it, yes.
And he loses again. Just take your butt whipping and go home,
and
man.
He had to build an aqueduct.
Yeah, right. You know that Buck Owens back in the 60s recorded Johnny Be Good, which is another, Johnny song where Johnny's rock and rolling and everything. And everybody got mad at him because they said it wasn't a country song.
I thought, who's that actor with Parkinson's?
Not Tom Cruise. Dang, what's his Michael J. Fox.
I thought Michael J. Fox wrote that song.
Yes, he did.
He wrote it at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance in Hill Valley.
He got Marvin Berry to listen to it, and then Marvin passed on to his cousin Chuck.
Okay,
yeah, that's how it all happened.
Okay,
yeah, yes. Which Chuck Berry, I love Chuck Berry, probably my favorite guitar player of all time. I was just amazed people had really had thought that much about that song in like really a theological sense. And atheists were like, the atheists in the thread were like, well, the devil's a stand-up dude,
Right.
Like he didn't require anything. He didn't require any sacrifice. He just went into the competition and gave it to him, And they were like, God wouldn't do that. God already thinks you're doing stuff wrong. And I was like, well, I'm not here for all that.
Yeah.
I was here to make some jokes.
Okay. I was like, okay, one, this song isn't canonical.
Right, yes.
This was from the mind of Charlie Daniels.
That's right.
Two, why are you being so defensive of a guy you claim doesn't even exist?
Exactly. Right, yes. They just try to get a rise out of people.
Yeah.
And I'd quit arguing with people online like that.
That's not worth it.
Yeah, no. I was there to make some jokes about how Charlie Daniels is, a underrated fiddle player, but not as good of a fiddle player as people think he is.
Right.
Anyways, my parents saw
Charlie Daniels. He never beat the devil in a fiddle contest.
Right.
That was Johnny.
And I will just say this is just on me. I'll take the responsibility for this opinion. When I listen to that song, I really like the Devil's Band better and his little part. If I was the judge, the devil would have won. It's way funkier than Charlie Daniels. Or the other guy. Just throw it out there. Just if I was a judge.
Yeah. For a song in which your soul depends on it, you didn't put a lot of soul into those notes.
Right. Yes. You didn't bring it like I thought you should. Which, when I was ordained to be a deacon, they brought me in front of all the deacons and they had to ask me questions and stuff. And that was one of the things I was really worried about. I was like, what if somebody asked me who I thought won the fiddle competition between the devil and Johnny? And I would be like, honestly, I think the devil got him, a much better bass line, and he did like that whole like wheezy thing with the fiddle. It was pretty cool. So, but
and Fire on the Mountain, what are you singing about, a volcano? What are you talking about, Johnny?
Chicken in a bread patch picking out dough? What is that? Come on. I don't nobody know what that is. Yeah. Saying. Could have done a little better if you ask me. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to emotional support pets. So like I said earlier, we got a story about emotional support alligator that visits a Pennsylvania senior facility to offer comfort. So yeah, that's the one thing your meemaw and pawpaw needs when they're at the retirement home is to have an alligator come in for them to love on. So when you think of emotional support animals, cold-blooded alligators probably aren't the first thing that come to mind.
Admittedly, no.
Yeah, right. But Wally, a 3-year-old, 4.5-foot long reptile, plies his trade doing exactly that. and he took some time out of his busy schedule to pay a visit to a senior living facility in Pennsylvania and offer some comfort. His owner, Joey Henney, took Wally to the Spirit Trust Lutheran Village in York, Pennsylvania. So exactly what Martin Luther envisioned when he split away from the church, was to have a retirement home named after him. A few residents were hesitant to get close to Wally. Those are the ones that are smart.
Yeah.
But Henney encouraged them to get to know the friendly reptile. I'm not scared of snakes, but that thing has a lot of teeth, a resident told the York Daily Record. Henney told the resident that Wally likes his head rubbed. He's just like a dog. He wants to be loved and petted. The residents asked a lot of questions, like what Wally does for most of his day. He'll lay there all day long. That's what he does. He's pretty lazy. Wally was rescued from Florida after a congregation of gators was slated to be destroyed in order to build a development on the land. Henney and his friend offered to help rescue the gators. Now, I don't know why you'd relocate them to Pennsylvania. That seems really cold for a gator. Like maybe just take them over to Louisiana.
That's why he's so lazy.
Yeah.
He's
South
cold-blooded.
Alabama. Yeah, right. That's exactly right.
He'd be way more active if he was in Alabama.
Yeah, take him to South Alabama or Louisiana.
Or take him to
somewhere like that.
Gainesville.
Yeah, right. Yes, Gainesville's a perfect place for him. Release him down there. By the way, shout out to Tim Tebow. He's getting married.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said Christian women are just weeping all over the world that have been waiting for him.
There's a disturbance in the force.
That's right, yes. Marrying like a Miss Universe, too. So just let that be a lesson to you, young men out there. If you save yourself from marriage, you might marry a Miss Universe. Or,
probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
But maybe you should do it anyway.
Maybe just another girl from your youth group. But either way.
Yeah.
All right. So Wally went to live with Henney at his residence in Shirestown, Pennsylvania in 2015 when he was about 14 months old. And he said Wally was afraid of everything, but started to adjust after some time. Of course, it's like, what is this snow?
What's this white stuff on the ground?
He was like a little puppy dog, and he would follow him around the house. He says that Wally likes to watch television. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And his favorite movie is The Lion King. Don't believe that either. The alligator lives in a 300-gallon pond, which around here we call that an above-ground pool, with his fellow gator, Scrappy, who is 2 years old. Scrappy's a much better gator name.
Yeah.
The owner says Wally has never bitten him and is a calm alligator. He's never bitten anyone. He's never tried to bite anyone. He's pretty laid back. He says, there aren't for everyone, but what can I say? I'm not normal. Now, the pictures, there's a couple pictures in this article of people holding the alligator.
Mm-hmm. Does he have his mouth taped?
No, that's the thing I was going to point out. His mouth is not taped shut. They are, I can't believe the Lutheran Village would open themselves up to this sort of liability, because it's an alligator, all right? It may be calm, but it also may bite you. You know?
He may be calm because he's cold.
True.
Because it's January.
You think maybe it's like part of it is he's cold and maybe like stuff a couple of Xanaxes down his throat before he head him over there.
Maybe. I wonder if Wally feels like he's trapped in his own body and he wants to bite these people so bad, but he just can't do it.
Doesn't have the energy to do it. Maybe that's it.
And every day he's like, I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I'm going to kill
I
you.
hate you so much.
You let it get up to 70 degrees just once. Just once, and I'm taking you out of this place. I can't move now. I can't feel my toes or anything, but you just let it. Let one of those heat
all
waves
these
come through.
Teeth and no toothbrush.
That's right.
Ornery.
Yes. Oh, man. I mean, I just don't. The emotional support animal thing has gotten out of control.
It really has.
Now that we have an alligator, that should be validation to everyone. Now, if you need an animal to assist you, that's fine. Nobody's talking about you, okay? You got a dog that helps you out. You got a dog that knows when your blood sugar's low or whatever. Nobody's talking about that. Just save your emails for somebody else. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the people that have like an alligator and that they want to bring with them, or a peacock they want to bring on the plane.
We're talking about
or
the
something.
emotional support animals.
Yeah, right. Yes. And I'm not even saying if you got emotional problems and you need a support animal, let's get a regular, like a dog. Okay. Get a Labrador.
But the reason we didn't have them for so long is because, as we can now see, people take advantage of it.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. You don't need an emotional support Shetland pony, or whatever. I'm just saying, get a dog.
An emotional support king cobra that's going to get on the loose.
That's right. Yeah. I just want that out to everybody. Nobody say if you got a legitimate need, that's fine. Just get a legitimate service animal.
I want an emotional support rhinoceros, which is nature's tank.
But no one has sent Wally the alligator to like any sort of training to help anyone. You can't train an alligator.
You don't send him to obedience school.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Put him in the canine school.
And if you've lived in the South, you've probably been to like an alligator farm somewhere before and watched a guy, like get in there and stick his hand in an alligator's mouth and all that, and then snatch it out before the alligator bites him. That alligator's not trained. The dude's just lucky. Sooner or later, he's going to lose a hand to the alligator.
I was say, if you hang around until after the show, look at the guy who's coming through with the push broom and notice that he has 3 fingers.
Yeah, right.
That's because he was doing that show before that other guy.
That's right. Yeah. Once you lose a hand or something, they like take you off. No, it's Jim's turn now. Jim, you're off with the broom.
You're promoted.
That's right. Yeah, I was just saying, alligators you can't train them to offer emotional support.
Right.
And like you say, I think the cold weather probably has a lot to do with this one being docile.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, our next story is help police end the strange case of the St. Paul slapper.
Oh, the St. Paul slapper.
The St. Paul slapper. At least 5 people have been victimized since December 12th, at which point the man was driving a gray Toyota Tacoma. Lately, he's been seen in a blue or light gray Subaru Outback, pictured above. There's a link in the show notes, with stolen plates.
Oh.
Victims have been, get this, slapped in the face, hit with a wrench, had Gatorade bottles thrown at them. According to St. Paul Police spokesman Steve Linders, who concedes this is a new one for the cops, we've had road rage incidents from time to time, Linders says, and we've had fights that break out and assaults that occur, but we've never had one person driving around randomly throwing things and slapping people. We've never encountered that in my time. No one has been seriously injured by this man, so thank goodness for that. But that doesn't mean that he's not a danger to the community because, anybody could get that one slap or that one wrench.
That's right.
That's going to mess you up. Since posting the story of the St. Paul slapper to social media a couple days ago, Linders isn't aware of any solid tips, which is curious as the man has a distinctive look, a blue teardrop tattoo under his left eye.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, that's not a good tattoo.
It's not a good tattoo to have.
Yeah.
He's white. He's in his 30s. He's heavy set and wears a ski mask as he does his crimes. So he's wearing a ski mask just to slap people.
Wow.
He's also damaged vehicles during his rampage.
Oh.
Linder says that this is hardly the crime of the century, but that this man's erratic and violent behavior cannot be allowed to continue. You can't just drive around St. Paul throwing things and slapping people and hitting them with wrenches. This is a weird situation.
Yeah.
Clearly something's going on with this man's mentality, and Linder says St. Paul police could help both the assailant and the community by getting him off the streets. It's important we find out what's going on. He might need help, and that's something we could help arrange with our mental health unit. Of course, we also want to hold him accountable for his actions. So I think that second part of that paragraph is really what they're after.
Right, yeah. No, definitely.
This is just for the bleeding hearts out there. Hey, look, we want to help him. But really, we want to help him by hitting him with this billy club and stuffing him in the back of this
How you like that, buddy?
So, anyone who sees this man matching this description should call 911 immediately and let police know his whereabouts. Anyone living in or visiting St. Paul should keep an eye out for an approaching stranger with a teardrop tattoo wearing a ski mask. Because you're probably going to get slapped.
Are ski masks, I guess, in Wisconsin? Is that where it's from? I guess they're pretty common up there because it gets cold.
Yeah, I guess so.
I camped out this weekend, like I said.
You're wishing you had a ski mask.
A little bit of snow flurries. But no, I didn't need a ski mask. I'm fine. It was, I think, 30 degrees something last night.
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad. But it's like that all the time up there in the winter and colder. So maybe you do need a ski mask up there to survive. I would just beware of anybody with a ski mask.
Yeah, that's true.
You see somebody coming towards you with one on, you just start going the other way.
I know there's going to
draw down on them.
I was about to say, I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that's going to disagree with me on this. And you know what? That's fine. We can just agree to disagree if that's the case. But you know what will fix this?
Yeah.
If people start slapping him back.
Right. Yeah.
Someone comes up and slaps you, you just slap them back as hard as you can. And
I was going to say a couple of shots to the leg. Just like a few 9mm rounds, right in his kneecap. You slapped me? Pow, pow. Okay, all right. Problem solved.
He gets shot or slapped back enough times, he will quit this. He will stop.
Yeah.
He will stop or bleed out one.
Yeah, so you're like, oh man, sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you twice. Sorry, man. Let me call you some help.
Yeah.
Don't slap
Meanwhile,
anybody
I'm going
else.
to make an appointment to go get my teardrop tattoo.
Yeah, you told me the other day you'd be coming back today, but you didn't. Oh, no. There's much that I can do. Really far to be us two, and I miss you. Show me the way we can be with you. You and her, I know I saw you. Breaks my heart, but what can I do? In this life, I know I lost you for good.
Well, let's move from one criminal to a next. Sometimes our heroes have skeletons in their closet, and they fall harder than we want them to.
It's true.
And such is the case with Chris Hansen, who spent much of his life putting pedophiles in jail with his show To Catch a Predator, and now he's about to be right in there with them. And, like I said, he's got a new show coming out called To Catch a Creditor. Chris Hansen was arrested and charged with passing bad checks.
Oh no!
Yeah, which you gotta write some bad checks to get arrested. I mean, it's a process to get arrested for writing bad checks. Former NBC News correspondent Chris Hansen, whose To Catch a Predator reports caught countless men soliciting minors for sex.
He caught a dolphin too.
That's true. I forgot he was a guest on our show.
For all of those who listen to Earth
That's
Oddity.
right. Yeah, he was a guest. We had him on an episode. Yes. Was arrested this week in Connecticut for allegedly passing bad checks. The Stamford, Connecticut Police Department says Hansen owes a local firm about $13,000 for promotional materials he ordered. The check Hansen initially used to pay for mugs, T-shirts, and decals reportedly bounced. Apparently, he had a little merch line going.
I wonder what the mug said.
Oh,
I hope
have
it
a
says,
seat right there.
Yeah, have a seat. Why don't you have a seat
Why
right
don't
there?
you take a seat right there, sir?
Well, then on the other side of the mug, it says, "What are you doing?"
That's right. Those episodes were wild, man.
They really were.
I mean, it would scare you to death, number one, because you're like, man, these people exist. No,
Right.
I work with a dude that looks like him, or whatever. And so, but yeah, anyways, I don't necessarily work, just in case you my coworkers, I don't work with anyone who looks like a sexual predator. And I don't know if I told the story on the podcast. There is a sexual, a guy on the sex offenders list,
Yeah,
or registered
sex offender.
in Tuscaloosa County named John Long. So I'll tell this story real quickly.
Are you serious?
Yes. So I go to, I think I was eating lunch with my kids one day or something at the elementary school, and you go in, they've scanned your ID and everything. So you have to pull up your name, and then you print out a visitor's tag, in the office and everything. So I go in, type in my name, and it's like, error, see the front desk. And I'm like, well, I'm standing at the front desk. I probably just typed my name in wrong.
Right.
Keystroke error. Try it again. Same thing. I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong?
I was like, you typed in your name perfectly.
Yes.
Right.
Try it again. Error comes up again. I'm like, goodness, man, like, what is the deal here? I know we already went through this process. So I try one more time. And about that time, the principal walks in the office. He's like, somebody is setting off the alarm system. And so I'm like, hey, Miss Monroe, that may be me. I'm having trouble logging in here.
Yeah.
About the time the phone rings, and it's the superintendent of the County Board of Education.
Oh, snap.
Who I know personally. We've been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
I worked for him, and went through scouts and stuff. He was one of my first bosses when I worked at a Boy Scout camp. And he's like, let me speak to John Long. And so they're like, Dr. Davey wants to speak to you. And I'm like, hey, what's up, Walter? I was like, I think I'm causing some problems down here. He was like, yeah, I'm in the middle of a meeting and my phone starts dinging with all these alerts and stuff. And he was like, so I had to at least see who it was. And he was like, no, you're definitely not the sex offender, John Long. And I was like, yeah, that's not me. And he was like, but your driver's license photo makes me think you are. Because I have a horrible driver's license photo. I can show it to you. It's really bad.
Yeah.
I look like a sex offender. Yeah, that's it right there. Don't I look like I'm about to do something?
Dude, I would bust you too.
Well, I got it. I try to take horrible driver's license pictures.
You succeeded.
In case there's ever something I'm involved with. That's the photo they'll use, that they can find. So I try to make it as worse possible as I can every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Walter's like, yeah, I'll tell him to clear the system out. And I was like, well, hey, it really makes me feel good that you get these alerts and stuff. And he was like, well, usually when somebody does it 6 or 7 times, it comes on up the ladder to me. And I was like, yeah, man. So now whenever I go to see my kids, I have to like manually check in and all that. I can't use the computer system. Anyways, back to Chris Hansen.
Well, so what's the middle name of the?
I don't know.
The scary John.
I've never looked him up. What if I went and
we need to look him up?
Yeah, maybe like what if I became like buddies with him? Like, hey, hey man, can you move to another zip code because you're really screwing it up when I go to see my kids? Let's find you a trailer over like in Holt or somewhere so you can get over there.
If I was you, I would stand outside his house and just be like, you are the worst. You are like the worst.
You're tarnishing my good name.
You are not worthy of the name John Long. Get that out of here. You need to change your name to
whatever.
Sniffy McPredator.
But yeah. So anyways, if you have a kid in the Tuscaloosa County school system, just know that there is a process in place that keeps sex offenders from checking in through the
So long as they don't try to check in at the front desk,
if they
we're going to get him.
Yeah,
we're
if they
gonna
go snatch your kid off the playground, there's probably nothing they can do about that. But if they're trying to come to the office, then they're going to have
and do everything the right way.
Yeah,
we're going to get them.
Just by the book, like you're supposed to.
We just need sexual predators to follow the rules.
That's right.
If they'll follow the rules, we'll catch them.
We'll catch them.
There's rules in place to stop that. But if they break the rules, well,
you're going to be in trouble.
Our hands are kind of tied.
That's
here.
right. You're going to have Dr. Davey coming down hard on you, buddy. Which I would not want to fight Walter. Like he's a skinny little dude, but he's
wiry.
Yeah, he's like, I think he's got it in him. He'd probably kill you, like gouge your eyeballs out. He's probably like a 4th degree black belt too. He's just like a dude that would do stuff like that. Just go and earn that because he could. Yeah. Anyways, got a lot of respect for Dr. Davey. He's got a real tough job. In fact, anytime there's a board meeting, somebody's always yelling at him about something. And I have stopped myself from wanting to go to him and just ask like really crazy off the wall questions just to see how he would respond to me.
You should ask him a bunch of softball questions to make him look smart.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Dr. Davey, you know how. Well, see, Thomas's middle school is the oldest school in the county system.
Right.
So it's got a lot of issues with it. And the parents at Riverside, there's a group of parents at Riverside that are super fired up about it, and they've been giving Walter such a hard time.
Oh, man.
Such a hard time. And so I always want to just be like, hey, what you going to do about Riverside? We're going to fix the roof or whatever, and just give him a hard time. But I've decided I wouldn't do that. Anyway, so Chris Hansen's in jail for writing bad checks for his promotional sales, and he's offered to make good on the debt, but he hasn't yet, though. So they swore out a warrant on him, which is a process you do if people write a bad check. And if you reach a certain dollar limit or whatever, they'll come and try to get you. Most of the time it's just on your record. And if you get pulled over for a speeding ticket, then it comes up and you have to go to court for not only your ticket and your bad check.
Right.
I have sworn a warrant out for a bad check before, so that's how I know how the process works.
Cool.
So, yeah. We were the last restaurant in Tuscaloosa that would accept personal checks. So everyone who liked to bounce checks would come and eat at my place. So not a good move on my part.
Well, I kind of hope they go kind of easy on Mr. Hansen here, but I do want that judge to say, what are you doing? Right. When he stands in front of him.
It's like if you get put in jail, one of the people you got put in jail, that's going to be really tough.
That is.
When they're like looking around, they're like, hey, I remember you. You got me put in jail. I'm going to be shank you in the kidney real quick or whatever.
I don't know. It's probably been long enough that all those people are out in the trailer parks.
Yeah, more likely.
Yeah.
In the chat rooms.
Yeah. On Roblox.
Don't say that. My kids play Roblox.
Mine does too. It's horrifying. It bothers me.
I had someone on my Facebook share an article about some dude that was enticing people over Fortnite, to minors and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, this is just a sad commentary on society. Like if you have a child and they're going to do anything online now, you just have to be aware that there's someone out there who's going to try to
take advantage
of them and
I told
prepare
Eli
them for it.
Which, I mean, he's just now getting into this, and this is not a foolproof system. I don't have the answer, but one thing I told Eli is anybody you are friends with online, I have to know them personally.
Yeah.
Do not accept any friend request from somebody that I have not met personally face to face.
Right.
Well, and that's not, obviously that's not going to work forever. I mean, one day he's going to be old enough that, whatever, Dad.
Right. And that's the age Thomas is now.
Yeah.
But to combat that is we have the Xbox in the living room. And so while he's in there, while I don't pay attention to everything that he says and I can't hear everything that's being said to him, at least I know, like, if he were to be like, yeah, meet me at 5 o'clock, I would be like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But
the problem is kids use code words nowadays.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But
just like we did when we were that age.
No, I never did anything like that. I feel like that Thomas he doesn't want to be kidnapped or anything like that. And jury's out on Hudson. He might load up with somebody.
Well, I was going to say that's actually part 2 of my plan. Is I like to share gruesome details of true case crimes with my son.
Yes,
so he knows how ugly and horrible the world really is.
That's a good idea. Yeah, look, they kidnapped this kid for playing Fortnite and cut him up into little bitty pieces.
I remember when my kid was 3 years old and we had a campfire outside to make s'mores. I mean, you like to make s'mores, right?
Sure.
Everybody loves a campfire. You just sit there and watch a campfire. If you don't like s'mores, this is great.
Yeah.
But my 3-year-old needed to know you don't play with the fire.
Right.
So I Google image searched burn victims and showed my son.
Nice.
And told him, you will look like this if you get in that fire. Don't do it.
And then you waited 3 or 4 years and poured gasoline on a fire and burnt your leg up. So I see Daddy wasn't lying.
Yep.
You remember that?
I remember that.
What I do this with my kids. If there's ever a bug in the house, I like gather them around. I'm like, hey guys, look at this spider. And they're like, yeah. And then I like step on it and kill it. I'm like, that's what I'll do to you if you have sex before you get married. I feel like, 13 years of that for Thomas. Hopefully that helps him remember.
Maybe.
Probably not.
You tell Livy, and I'll just know.
Yeah, probably not. It's hard. Get to be 13. Life's rough,
Yeah.
Real tough.
Well, anyway, speaking of love and relationships, our next headline here: man proposes in court to girlfriend who stabbed him 13 times.
Okay, you can't keep true love apart.
Yeah. Everyone told him it wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's right.
I think they were right.
They didn't get premarital counseling, I guarantee you.
A woman facing up to 6 years behind bars for stabbing a man was proposed to in court by the victim, reports the Daily Mirror.
Okay.
While in court, the victim also begged the judge not to jail her, saying they were arranging the date of their wedding. The woman was reportedly on trial in this is going to be tough. Nizhny, Russia.
Sounds about right.
Somewhere in Russia.
Yeah.
We're just going to say in town.
Yeah, Russia, they get some wild stories in Russia. It's like the Florida of another continent.
Well, anyway, she used a knife to stab her partner at least 13 times. The victim escaped and received medical help.
Okay.
While the woman pleaded guilty to the attack, she denied she wanted to kill her boyfriend. She was just trying to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't stab you anywhere vital.
She says that she was drunk at the time.
Oh,
so
imagine that.
all is forgiven. The case was adjourned for sentencing. So that's all it says here. But I tell you what, man, some guys, man, they've got it bad. Well, you know, they say love is blind.
Yeah.
And there are definitely, I'm just going to say it, men out there who this is definitely the case for.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying for women, you get an abusive relationship
that's
and
true.
you kind of get conditioned to that life and you won't leave it or whatever.
I wonder how hot she is.
That's what I'll say. She may be like a smoke show and he's like, yeah, you can stab me all you want, baby. It's fine. You know, that may be the case because guys would be like that too. Like, no, she's good looking enough to make up for this. So I don't know. But if you're ugly, you got a hard time stabbing your man and getting him to come back. For all the ugly ladies out there. You know, ugly guys too, you know, I would say that too. Yeah. You go and beat on your woman or whatever, she'll leave you because there's a guy hotter than you that won't beat on you.
You can out-fine your crazy, but you can never out-crazy your fine.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's exactly. What is it? You know, that dude had that video, like the crazy hot matrix a while back that came on.
Yes.
Yeah, that showed like the hotter you are, the crazier you can be. And if you're a man, like the richer you are, the uglier you can be.
That's absolutely the case.
Right. Yeah. And that's just life.
Just life.
You know, people may not like that.
And this is not an absolute. This
No,
isn't a law
definitely
of
not.
nature,
Right.
but it's a good general guideline.
General guideline. Yes.
I have a story that's similar to this. I remember when I was in college, there was a guy that was in the dorms. I don't remember his name, but he met a girl online, and they were so in love.
Oh.
And he went to see her, and it turns out that, and this is the story I got from the guy. I'm sure he tried to tidy it up all he could.
Sure.
But when he came back from going to see her, he had this terrible bruise on his chest. I mean, it was like the size of a basketball. And we were all like, dude, what happened? Did you get hit by a car or something? And he said, no. Let me tell you the story. Apparently, this girl, and I have no idea who she is, but she had an uncle who was part of the SWAT team.
Oh.
And he goes over to her house, and there's a bulletproof vest laying on the couch. And he says, oh, cool, a bulletproof vest. And she's like, you want to try it on? He's like, yeah. So he puts on the bulletproof vest, and she says, why don't you turn around so I can take a picture? And he spins around, and bam, she shoots him in the bulletproof vest. For real?
Wow.
I mean, unless he got hit by a car, and this is a story he made up to tell us, but he had it bad. He was really bad off.
Wow.
And and then she told him that it was a training round.
Oh.
But don't matter to me.
No, yeah.
I mean,
if you're in his shoes, you got to turn that into like some make out time or something. Like, all right, you shot me with a gun. Now let's make out. Okay.
He probably didn't get up off the floor for a while.
Yeah. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt.
I mean, I think he did have to go to the ER and like get it checked out and stuff. He may have like cracked a rib. It was bad. It was really bad.
You don't want to crack a rib. You know, I bruised my rib that time bringing it into the church. Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud. But that thing hurt for like a month. I couldn't even raise my arm up. That was just a bruised rib. Oh, yeah. That was tender.
And long story short, he married that girl.
For real?
He married her.
Oh,
so
that's a heck of a story to tell you. Hey, how did you and Dad meet?
You know, I hadn't talked to that guy. He may be dead now.
Yeah,
but
man popped him with it. Oh, I was aiming at the vest and got him right in between the eyes 3 times. It was really wild. Yeah,
maybe they went to Russia, and this is the story that we're reading right here.
That's true. We track him down. Just have him on the show.
I need to.
All right, we need to have a couples, show. We'll get some wild people. My dad told me there was a guy who once traded his wife for a motorcycle. So
I didn't know you could do that.
I don't know that people abide by the traditional U.S. law in Bankston, Alabama. So, yeah. They also, I'm almost positive, of course, Dad will listen to this eventually and he'll tell me, They had a house in Bankston too, and had a horse inside the house on the second floor, and the horse like jumped out the window and died or something. Like, why do you keep a horse inside your house? Maybe they stole it or something. They were trying to hide it. I don't know. Yeah,
man.
yeah. So anyway, that's the kind of life my dad had growing up. So
There was a dude in Fayette, wasn't it, that he traded his 4-wheeler for a horse and had it tied up in the front yard, and it got sick, and they brought it in the house, but then it died, and they had to like get a crane to get it out of there.
okay, maybe that's all part of the same story.
Maybe.
Maybe I've just like woven it together in my brain.
Yeah.
That sounds like it. I don't know. I mean, if a horse dies in your house, I wouldn't get a crane, you know.
Well, I think it was on the second floor.
Oh, okay.
At least that's the story I heard. It may not be true, but now we're talking about rural Alabama,
Right.
so
It could be.
it very well could be true.
No, yeah. I mean, I could see that happening. Well, let's move on to another story here. An ex-NFL player is probably the last person in the world that you would want to be angry at you.
Right.
Well, this guy nabbed an alleged peeping Tom outside of his daughter's bedroom window. Ex-NFL player who hadn't played since 2007, but his name is Tony Beckham, proved he can still deliver a hit when it comes to protecting his family.
Oh, yeah.
The 40-year-old Beckham said he caught an alleged peeping Tom outside of his Palm Beach County, Florida home, leering through the bedroom window of his teenage daughter and getting familiar with himself. We had a good conversation, Beckham told the ABC affiliate of him and this stranger. During the conversation, quote-unquote conversation, the suspect, 48-year-old Jeffrey Cassidy, suffered a black eye and fractures to his face, according to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Cassidy was arrested and booked at the Palm Beach County Jail on suspicion of lewd and lascivious behavior, and he's being held on a $1,500 bond, according to jail records. Now, here's this picture right here. You can see it in the show notes. Dude got popped a few times right in the face.
Yep.
Beckham said he was leaving home for work at about 6:40 a.m. on Monday when he saw the peeper standing outside his daughter's bedroom window with his pants down, doing pants down stuff. And he said, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, is this for real? Beckham said. I thought I was getting punked. Like, this isn't happening.
Right.
He said he yelled at the man and he took off running.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Beckham, a former defensive back for the Detroit Lions and Tennessee Titans, quickly caught the man and held him for police. I'm sorry that it happened to me. I'm sorry that it happened to him, Beckham said. He's never going to do that again on this side of town, though. He said he's worried that Cassidy, the peeping Tom, has done it before. If he's brave enough to do it right here, I know it's not the first time and that he's done it before. Beckham's wife, Amanda, told the TV station that she's concerned about why Cassidy allegedly targeted her family. I don't know if this was his first time coming here, if he's been here before, or where he's seen us, or how he picked us out, but it's scary, and that's understandable, too.
Yeah.
I would have those same questions. First of all, if I walked out and there was a guy doing that, I would not have to chase after him. You know, I would just kill him. You know,
Right.
like, hey,
Yeah.
buddy, sorry, finger slipped. And then I would tell the officer that I felt my life was in danger, and we'd go on about our life.
Yeah.
So,
Sans peeping Tom.
sans this peeping Tom.
Yeah.
Right. Just do society a favor.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for this guy.
No, not
you
at
know?
all.
I just kind of feel like, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Well, if you pick the house of a daggone ex-NFL player,
Yeah.
and then you're like trying to
I'm
run.
glad he did.
Yeah, right.
You know, he's probably, I don't know whose houses he's targeted in the past. I would imagine any house that gives him.
Leaves their window shades up or whatever. Yeah.
But I tell you, I'm glad. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe he'll learn something.
Right. But just imagine, like, he's probably been scared off before. Not that, like, anybody's ever hollered at him or saw him, but he heard a noise and he just takes off running, you know, trying to pull his pants up and put everything back in and stuff. And he's able to make it. Well, now you have a former defensive back who probably still runs a below 40-yard dash.
Yes.
And instead of somebody like me chasing after you, you're just going to get winded by.
You got to be fit if you're going to get away from that dash.
Right. Yeah. You got to be really fit. Yeah. Yeah, and he just like walks you down, like puts a couple of fists in your face and tells you, we're going to wait on the police to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh, mercy. Well, my personal last story for the day. Women caught twerking on the hood of a moving SUV.
Oh, okay.
And this wasn't a White Snake video.
It wasn't?
FYI.
No, I was just going to say, we're filming a video here?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. St. Louis. Video from a Missouri freeway shows two people twerking on the top of a moving SUV. The video was taken Monday during rush hour in St. Louis and shows two people dancing on top of a Suburban. Another person is halfway out of a video recording it all. So
Okay.
I'm sure they're, trying to get it on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's like for a rap video.
That filmed on an iPhone.
Yeah. Right.
The woman who recorded the video told KSDK she did not call the police, but she hopes that posting the video to social media would lead someone to recognize the people. That's why she did it.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't do it for the likes or the shares.
Yes.
She was hoping that would lead to the capture of the people doing it. Police call this kind of behavior a safety hazard. No kidding. Seriously. Quote, they could fall off of the car or cause other drivers to wreck. It's a dangerous situation for themselves and other drivers.
Yeah.
If they fall, it could create a fatal accident.
True.
We do not encourage anyone to try anything like this ever. You are supposed to be in your car when you drive, a spokesperson said. Police said that the people in and around the SUV could be cited for several things, including riding on the exterior of a motor vehicle, not wearing a seatbelt. It's kind of hard to buckle that seatbelt when you're shaking your rump on the hood of the car.
Yeah, it's tough.
And failing to maintain minimum speed. So maybe if they were going faster, they could get out of that one.
Yeah, I guess so.
And failure to display a license plate. So
Ooh.
I guess the car that they were dancing on didn't have the license plate properly.
They probably knew they would
shown.
get videoed, so they took. I see. It's like some SoundCloud rapper or something. Like, I'm going to make a video, and they're like, take the tags off, so nobody who's taking pictures of us can send it to the law, and they can find us. So,
Right.
Yeah, but
leave that for all the other chumps who were trying to do the twerking on a moving car challenge next week when this goes viral.
Well, look, Teen Wolf was able to surf on top of a van,
Right.
all through town with no problems at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you can't twerk on top. Like, are we holding these people to a different standard than we would hold Teen Wolf to? I don't think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe so.
Although, I don't know. I imagine that people twerking on the car is going to really grab other drivers' attention more than just surfing.
True. Very true. I mean, a werewolf surfing in the middle of the day, though, that'll grab your attention, too. But I don't know. I'm not familiar with twerking. Can you explain it to me?
Well, I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you what it is.
I'm kidding. I've heard about it. I've read a few articles about it. But, to me, this is where we just let these people fall off the car and die. Let's thin out the herd. We got too many people as it is. And let's take out the dumb ones that would do things like get up on a car and twerk and let them die so their genes aren't passed down to other people.
Oh, you missed our Sunday school lesson this morning.
Oh, yeah.
It was about human value. Sanctity of Human Life Sunday.
Yes, right.
So, John,
that's just a joke. That's just a joke, everybody.
How do you know that one of these two twerking girls on this car isn't going to be the one to figure out the cure for cancer? I mean, come on.
I don't know that. I'm willing to take my chances. Let's just roll the dice. I mean, maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll twerk. I don't know.
Maybe it'll twerk. Good one.
Yeah. Just play on words. I believe that's called a pun. But yeah, I don't know. Kids are kids. They do stupid stuff. I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was young.
Now, I never twerked on a moving car.
I don't have enough booty to twerk. I can twerk my belly. I got plenty there. I do the belly twerk, the bork, maybe. But yeah, I don't have anything in the back.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the good thing is that we didn't film ourselves doing anything dumb.
Right, because you were at least that smart.
Yeah, and everyone else around us didn't have like a video device in their pocket. There's
We were fortunate to grow up in a time when there wasn't cameras on smartphones.
Right.
Or there
were
wasn't
smartphones. We didn't even have cell phones. We had pagers.
We didn't have Facebook.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I didn't have MySpace till I was in my early 20s.
Yeah, I got MySpace.
So
I signed up for it one night when I was when Thomas was a baby, and I was like feeding him, and I saw something on it. My MySpace page was originally started as a James Brown tribute page because I love James Brown. If people don't know, one of my top 3 artists of all time. I love James Brown.
Yeah.
Great dude. And then I just started finding people I knew on there, and I was like sending them a message like, "Hey, I'm about to blow your mind. I haven't seen you in 20 years. What's going on?"
Yeah.
And then it started into what you see today on Facebook, which is me just annoying everyone. So
I miss MySpace. I wonder if it's still around.
My page is still there, but
We need to make an Earth Oddity MySpace page.
page.
See if we can drive everybody there.
I had a lot of blogs that I'd written and some really good stuff because I would like concentrate and try to write, really good stuff, like stories about stuff I did with my great grandfather or with my grandfather. And when Justin Timberlake bought MySpace, he took all the blogs down. And so I lost all that stuff I wrote. And Justin Timberlake's probably developing all that stuff into movies now or whatever, because it sure is a property of MySpace. It wasn't mine. I mean,
Man,
so one day he's going to make a lot of money off of me.
I liked. Well, I'm not gonna say I liked. I tolerated Justin Timberlake until you said that, but now I'm mad at him.
I'm still cool with him. It's okay. I don't mind. It was just a creative outlet for a little while, and I did some what I thought probably some of my best early internet writing on there. And I hadn't written anything in a really long time on the internet.
I just wish you could have done all that writing on Google Docs, because Google will never steal your data.
Of course not.
Sell it to the highest bidder.
Anyone. No. No. We want to thank our sponsor, world famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice, for their support. Check them out at, you guessed it, CajunCurl.com. Right there, you can order their spice or their Cajun Curl chip cutter for potatoes. It was created on the Elm Bayou. You know where the Elm Bayou was?
Yeah.
If you like cooking or eating, this is a spice for you. Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice goes well with chicken, beef, pork, potatoes, and anything else you can think of putting it on. The spiral potato cutter is absolutely amazing. It's easy to use, it's easy to clean, and it'll allow you to make your own chips using the Cajun Curl spice. And we got Valentine's Day coming up. There's no better way to spice up your love life than getting your loved one a can of Cajun Curl for them. That's right. Also, you can make them homemade potato chips with Cajun Curl spice. You can whip up a batch, have them sitting there in like a heart shape on the bed when she gets home from work one day. You talked about getting the engine revving.
Or leave a trail of them.
That's right. Yeah, through the house.
Through the house leading to the bedroom.
Exactly. Yes. You can talk about getting the engine revving. That'll do it right there for you. Let me tell you, the homemade chips with Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice on them will change your life. It'll change your love life, too. I'm just saying. On the website, CajunCurl.com, you can not only order Bayou Blended Spice, but the Cajun Curl chip cutter, and you'll also find recipes that are mind-blowing. You can locate your nearest retailer or order your own right there. If your local grocer doesn't carry world-famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice, ask them to start stocking it now. Now, locally in Tuscaloosa, for our Tuscaloosa fans or those in the Tuscaloosa-Northport Metroplex or surrounding counties, you can find it at South's Finest Meats, at Vowels on Skyline Boulevard, and Piggly Wiggly in Northport. Now, all of their products are made in the USA, so not only do you enjoy the taste of Cajun Curl, but you feel very patriotic while you enjoy your meal. Like Hulk Hogan playing an American flag guitar. It's all natural, low salt, and it has a little kick to it, but it doesn't burn your lips. World famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice. Taste the spice, but not the heat.
You can get it 24/7 at
24/7.
CajunCurl.com. Use promo code EOP10 to get 10% off. Because we ask that you use the spice, but we don't ask you to pay full price.
That's right. Use the promo code EOP10. Get a discount. Get it in before Valentine's Day. Spice up your love life. I know it's boring. I see you walking around. So do something a little different. Make some homemade chips. Kick it up a notch,
50% of all marriages aren't failing because the love life is great. So
That's right. Yeah.
do your part to make it better.
For all you fellows out there, take her on down to Flavor Town. All right? With some Cajun Curl by you, Blended Spice.
All right. Okay, we got a couple of reviews.
Oh, yeah?
We have 3 new reviews,
Wow.
but we're going to ration them out.
Wow.
We're going to start with this one. This one comes from January 9th of this year,
Okay.
and it is from Awful Kanoffle.
Awful
5
Kanoffle.
stars.
I like that.
This is the worst podcast ever.
Oh.
I don't like to laugh involuntarily. If you think about it, having someone make you laugh is like having a wizard verbally cast a spell on you that affects your breathing and causes you to speak gibberish.
Oh.
Furthermore, Tiny isn't actually a small person. In the words of one of the greatest minds of the past century, you are fake news. I met, quote, unquote, Tiny once. Not only was he anything but diminutive, he ate all of my cheddar cheese fries.
Ooh.
5 stars is the worst possible score, right? So I would just like to say, yes, 5 stars is the worst score that you can give, unless you like it, in which 5 stars is the best you can give it. But either way, you got to rate it 5 stars.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
best or worst. It's the only rating that is accepted by Apple. Right.
And I did meet Awful Kanoffle once, and I did eat all of his cheese fries.
Okay.
So,
Well, I mean, if
my
he's,
apologies.
look, if he's leaving cheese fries around and he doesn't expect you to eat them, then he's just naive. You know, like that's on him. That's not your fault.
Well, I was going to say, you know, Mr.
Kanoffle.
Mr. Kanoffle, I remember distinctively you saying, hey, I ordered us some cheese fries, but then they just sat there and they sat there a little longer and then they sat there a little longer.
I mean,
And, you know, I mean, those cheese fries, they're not going to eat themselves, right? So,
that's right.
So thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah, we really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about Tiny, you know, eating your fries. That's just the way it goes. I mean, if you're going to be, I mean, that's on you, really.
You knew what you were getting
Yeah.
into
I'm just
when you ordered cheese fries to start with.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, you don't look at a guy like Tiny and think he's going to lay off the cheese fries. Okay?
Well, you have been listening to Earth Oddity Podcast, and we thank you so much for listening to us, no matter where you get us, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Republic, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify.
Tune in.
We're on them all.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
If you would like to write the show, you can reach us at earthoddity@planetmail.net. If you would like to tweet at us, we are at _EarthOddity.
Yeah.
If you like to look at pictures, sometimes we post up pictures.
Might get one every once in a while.
You can look at those pictures at _EarthOddity on Instagram.
That's right.
And we also have a phone number. What's that phone number?
It's 662-493-2059. That's 662-493-2059. Call in, leave us a voicemail, tell us whatever. You can talk about whatever you want to. Just hand the phone to a random toddler and let them talk for a while. Call us at 662-493-2059.
We hope everybody out there has a great week. Earth Oddity for the Fringe Radio Network signing off.
Love y'all.
Bye.
This has been a very odd production. Thanks for listening.